Example 3 is going to be a bit more complicated, 1 and 2. So I'm going to do that in 2 parts. Do this example in 2 parts. This one is more complicated because if you look at the argument, you'll see that the terms in this argument are mortals, imperfect beings, humans, immortals, perfect beings, and non-humans. That's 6 terms. Now we're going to be able to get it down to 3 terms because they're all complement. They're all class complements. There's perfect beings and imperfect beings, got humans and non-humans, and so forth. So we're just going to have to get it down to 3 terms. So that's what this part of the example will focus on, is just getting it down to 3 terms. Okay, so we're going to start. First, we'll just identify the premises and the conclusion. We're not going to worry about which one is the major premise and which one's the minor premise at this point, because you can't actually tell until you get it down to 3 terms. So first we identify the conclusion, which is that all perfect beings are non-humans. We can tell because of the conclusion indicator whence it follows that. So we'll just make this first premise P1. And the next one P2. And then the conclusion. Okay, then we want to work at getting it down to 3 terms. So the easiest way usually to do this is, rather than, try to do something that brings more class complements into being, rather than try to change humans into non-humans, it's better to, I find it less confusing to try to go the other way. So if we can change this imperfect beings into perfect beings, that would be good. And we can do that actually quite easily using aversion. So aversion will change it from a positive to a negative statement. And then it changes the predicate term into its complement. So it'll change it from imperfect beings to perfect beings. And we want to write down what we did, how we got that there. So we justify it. Okay, so no humans are immortals. Again, we can do the same thing. So it's very handy when we have a class complement in the predicate position and we want to get rid of it. Aversion is your go-to strategy. So we're going to change this negative statement into a positive statement. And then we're going to change immortals into its complement, mortals. And we're done. Okay, and the same idea for all perfect beings are non-humans. We will do aversion on that too. So we change it from a positive to a negative. And then we want to change the predicate term to its complement by aversion. Okay, I'm going to stop there, and in the next part of this example, we'll do the rest of it. We will put it into standard form and symbolize it, draw a diagram that represents the syllogism, and determine whether it is valid or invalid.